talks in 3 different ways in the teachings. Of course, there's many ways to understand, exploring her beauty, her nature, her qualities, her activities. But to simplify everything into, again, in the 3 levels. More highly advanced level, and then kind of semi-advanced level, and more kind of the mundane or the regular level to discover. So first we speak about more advanced levels. More highly advanced, more highly deepest nature of the way, exactly as it is that level. This nature here is known as then the summoned Bhadris. Buddha summoned Bhadris, mother of all the Buddhas, all the male Buddhas, female Buddhas, Buddhas of the past, present and future, every enlightened beings, not just the Buddhas, but also Bodhisattvas, all the practitioners, everyone, because knowing her nature as it is, according to their capability, whatever they capture, the realization, accordingly, then in the Buddha teaching named as like first Bhumi Buddha, first Bhumi Bodhisattva, second Bhumi Bodhisattva, or in the first part, second part, third part, and so forth, because of her capturing of her nature. That nature is what? This mother nature, mother absolute nature of the Buddha summoned Bhadri or Yeshe Tsogyal is the total openness, infinite, free from the obscurations, free from all the conception thought, is inconceivable nature, and which is also known as the great emptiness. The great emptiness is not just the emptiness, but great emptiness of the beyond the conception. Great wisdom, wisdom is beyond the conception, and great compassion is beyond the conception. Great loving kindness is beyond the conception. That beyond, that infinite, that inexpressible nature is known as the absolute Mother Wisdom Yeshe Tsogyal. Or it's also named as Mother Summoned Bhadris, or sometimes in the Buddha teaching named as Mother Paramata. This is basic nature. This nature has no what's called partialities. It's totally pervasive. We all have this nature. Everyone has this nature. But our nature is blocked by the obscurations present time. We have to explore this. So her nature is in a way waiting us to get up enlightenment. He is waiting all the time. No matter whatever the situation and circumstances we go through, life after life, day after day, or the year after year, the nature of the absolute nature of the Mother Paramata or the wisdom, Yeshe Tsogyal, never changed, never tired, never bored. And He is awaiting us to wake up to her reality, her nature. That is the absolute Mother Paramata or wisdom Yeshe Tsogyal. So her nature, that to explore, to bring that realization and to behold that nature, what often in the teaching said, meditate. And that's what we meditated, for example, in Heart Sutra what? When we chant at the beginning of the prayers, inexpressible, unceasing, unborn, natural as the sky, by experience or self-reflection awareness, only to behold these great mothers. When you have the glimpse understanding of her nature, this is our nature that which is waiting us to wake up to that. We have the glimpse understanding of that nature, that will shatter the emotions, that will shatter the ego clings, that will shatter all the obstacles. They're so powerful, so magnificent, and that is what really the absolute Mother Paramata and absolute Mother Wisdom Yeshe Tsogyal. This nature, as I said, is inconceivable of love, compassion, wisdom, and openness or the emptiness. Since it is so spatial, so open, so in partialities, therefore her radiating energy is actively emanating, many different emanations. Those emanations actively invade as like in a semi-visible level, known as Sambhokaya levels. Sambhokaya Buddhas, many of you know already. Many of you already know the Sambhokayas. Generally, Sambhokaya means richness of the enlightened quality, richness of compassion, richness of the wisdom, richness of the loving kindness, richness of all the skills and method, the variety of that nature, and that luxury is totally surrounded. That is known as the Sambhokaya, Mother Vasudakini Himself. In that form, again, he has many different emanations, such as Vedya Yoginis, Vedya Varahis, and then also 5 Dhyana Buddhas. All those are 5 female Dhyana Buddhas. All those are known as female Sambhokaya Buddha of the wisdom Dakini Himself. So this is the, again, active manifesting in the richness of these all beautiful qualities. From the what's called impartial or inconceivable level, then reignite of that quality came as a semi-visible status. Why I'm using semi-visible state? Because this richness quality of the Sambhokaya we cannot really behold immediately. They are like highly capable practitioners or highly realization beings can behold that, and externally, inwardly, we can experience that. We can experience because we can't experience immediately. In a way, it's blocked by our dualities, our obscurations to behold that. So therefore, it's in a way it is semi-status. And always in the teaching said, where this Sambhokaya is Sambhokaya Buddhas. Sambhokaya Buddhas residing in the inconceivable pure land, or the pure land that is beyond the consumption states. That is the place where they are residing. It's not just that they are residing, purpose they are residing that, but they are open all the time. It's not something they are restricted, but because due to our defilement and our obscurations, we cannot behold immediately. We cannot behold our true nature of the Sambhokaya immediately. Then, because of our obscurations of the duality that is condensed up, built up densely many lifetimes. So therefore, again, to reconnect to that, how we do? We practice, meditate, to bring that full potential bloom of that nature. And that is then appeared in the form as Sambhokaya female Buddhas, as I said, 5 female Buddhas and Vedya Yoginis and so forth. Those emanations are known as the Sambhokaya female Buddhas of the Western Dakini Himself. Then the Dharmakaya of the Western Dakini Himself is more actively in the kind of like ordinary ways in the teaching. Even though it's not really ordinary that for duality beings cannot perceive easily immediately, but they are known as the Dharmakayas. What means the Dharmakaya in Sanskrit word? It means emanations, emanating and engaging to as indeed for the duality beings, that they are emanated beings. Those are known as Dharmakaya Buddhas. And those Dharmakaya Buddhas are, who are they actually? And again, it is the Dharmakaya Buddhas of all the Taras, for example. Green Tara, White Tara, and the 21 Taras, and all those are known as Dharmakaya emanations of the Mother Vasudakini Himself. So yes. And even though again Tara and all these 21 Taras, we can't immediately perceive that because our dualities, these cataracts of the obscurations, kind of blocking that to behold that realizations or the understanding of that. But however, they are again always in a way waiting us to perceive, to see that nature of that. Right? There's no, again, kind of like lack of the compassion, lack of the wisdom, lack of the loving kindness. They are full of love and compassion, wisdom, and that is our potential in a way too. It's waiting us to wake up these reality qualities. So that's why, and then Yeshe Tsogyal, for example, appeared. Yeshe Tsogyal is known as the re-emanations. It's a Dharmakaya, but from the Dharmakaya Buddha, he appeared as form of the human beings. Again, he came in this world about 1,000 years or 1,200 years ago, or 8th century. According to his story, that he came in the mid-8th century in Tibet. He is the direct emanations of course, he is the emanation with all those kayas, Dharmakaya female Buddha, Sambhogakaya female Buddha, and Nirmakaya female Buddhas, but she appeared as human forms of the three Nirmakayas, Kayas in the central Tibet, and known as Yeshe Tsogyal. And even though she is a total enlightened being, and she demonstrated with the courage and commitment, and determination, joyful effort, and such a full devotion to receive the teaching and the practice, even though she is already enlightened being, but to show us example to the following, to all of us really, she put also teachings into the heart and the practice it. And then she become transcendental restorative body. She can show that. She demonstrated that way. She reached to the transcendental restorative body. And the teaching also said that she emanated purposely to Tibet in order to spreading and in order to igniting the spreading the teachings of the Vajrayana and particularly teachings of the Guru Padma Sambhavas. Guru Padma Sambhava, when he came to Tibet, he gave so many teachings, particularly Vajrayana teachings, which is then related with mostly to the inner tantras, Mahayoga tantras, Anuyoga tantras, Ati Yoga tantras. He gave all those so many teachings. But as soon as he gave the teachings, most of those teachings, Yeshe Tsogyal immediately transcribed that in her meditation power, in the symbolic letters, and which is known as the Dakini sign language, but it's symbolic languages. Symbolic language, in a way, is symbolic codes, and then she hidden those teachings throughout the Tibet, together with blessings from Guru Padma Sambhava throughout the Tibet, with her meditation powers. Without going to different locations, she hidden all that, along with the different ritual objects and blessing objects and so forth. She hidden for the future generations. As Guru Padma Sambhava, Yeshe Tsogyal hidden those teachings, and then also they discovered by many great ethnos, one after another, from the end of the 10th century, even until now. There's so many great ethnos and beings who discovered those teachings, those ritual objects, those blessing objects, really discovered and distributing to benefit for all beings, so many beings. And so that is how she did activities. So therefore, again, in her life, what she had doing, kind of, she showed her devotion, courage, commitment, and joyful effort. Her bodhicitta, she received all the teachings from Guru Padma Sambhava, particularly many from Guru Padma Sambhava, and she practiced that. And also she is known as one of the 9 heartless students of Guru Padma Sambhava. She received the first time teaching with other 8 groups of the students, and all of them become known as 9 heart students. And she is one of that. And she is known particularly master of the Vajrayanas. She practiced the Vajrayana as she received that teaching. That was her karmically connected. She practiced, she meditated, and she became as all the state of Vajrayana. And her particular practice of Vajrayana is in southern Tibet or in the east Bhutan, known as the lion's nest or the lion's castle. Castle Monterey Sindhu is very famous where she practiced, meditated, and actualized the Vajrayana status of that times that. And then together with that, she was a practicer, and as I said before, finally she became totally enlightened beings or the transcendental restorative bodies. She stayed in Tibet according to the story. Guru Padma Sambhava stayed about, for example, about 55 years in Tibet, and then he left. But he stayed over 200 years, some says, if not, definitely over 100 years that he stayed. Sometimes 200 years, they counted as like waxing moon and then waning moon as 2 months. So then it become kind of 100 years become 200, 1 month become 2 months in a way. They kind of do that system in India, and I think ancient time, maybe in Tibet it does, but in India still I think they do in the villages, rural areas, they do that. So that systems, and she stayed over, in the teaching said, over 200 years. Over 200 years, and after that, she kind of left it, flew away in the sky, went to in the teaching said, Upper Glory Mountain, and she's still living Buddha, along with Guru Padma Sambhava. And all those great teachings one after another, every time this used to call Padma Gochen Ling, Mother Yeshe Tsogyal. Because every Tetungs, when you read life story of those Tetungs, they all receive so many instructions, blessings from Yeshe Tsogyal. Again and again, again and again. She comes on the dream, she came on the vision, she come on the really on the reality level, on the like in the deep, broad daylight, and so many of those great Tetung has the life story they read in that, and in many ways. So she is very active mother. She is beyond death and birth. That sense, she is the transcendental Western body. So that is the mother Western Yeshe Tsogyal. And then he